Oh, what's up? Mixie here. Just wanted to make a quick video about the HTC Vive that I bought. It's due tomorrow. Just wanted to put down on paper and in video some of my thoughts about it and some of the things I'm worried about with it. Why did I get one? Because I love games. I watched some videos on tested.com and Tribal Instincts and Barnacle Nerdgasm, and they look to be having a ball with it. So I thought, it's a bit out of my price range, but then eBay had a 20% off sale, so that brought it down to about $1,000, which isn't too bad. So I made the commitment and bought it. So it's due tomorrow, the 6th of July 2017. So yeah, it looks to be bloody good fun. So hopefully it's as good fun as it looks. What I'm excited for, I mean, the most obvious thing is the immersion. I mean, having the wands and having the one-to-one movement and the 3D tracking and being able to move around, dodge things and get out of the way of things and duck under things and have things come from behind and you can turn around and get out here, you son of a bitch, you'll fucking smash him, cunt. Another thing I'm looking forward to is I'm getting a bit porky. And all this sitting down playing computer games, I think, doesn't really help. Getting fat, getting lazy. The less I do, the tighter I get. So hopefully standing up at the very least. Maybe some ducking and weaving and some dodging and some sitting down and some standing up will increase my amount of activity I get per day. So some of the games I'm looking forward to, well, number one is pinball. Jeremy on Tested, he's made the front 6 inches or something of a pinball machine, so he sits in front of it with his headset on and he pew, 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 and you can move around and check where the ball's coming and see where the ball's going to go and get the angles right, and it looks fucking good. Same thing with like games like pool or billiards or snooker or whatever. They look like they'll be fun, enhanced by the 3D. Golf is another thing. Minigolf. That looks like it'll be bloody good fun. I mean, when they announced that Fallout 4 was coming to the headsets, I was like, fuck yes, this has got my name on it. So it was a big... Fallout 4 was probably a big impetus for me to get one of these things. Skyrim 2, having... magic in each hand or a sword, and shields might actually be useful for a change. You'll be able to actually put your shield in front of things. I don't know how accurate it'll be, whether if you have someone attacking from this angle, whether you can block in this direction or if it's just you're blocked. No matter where you put it. If you put it up, it's blocked. I don't know. We'll soon see. Hover junkers, I mean, that goes back to my thing about exercise. Having to duck and weave and bob behind things, it's going to increase the amount of activity I get. No end. I'm going to be sweating like a pig by the end of it, probably. And another thing is like tilt brush. Google's tilt brush. I bought a copy of that. It looks really fucking good. Interesting, like being able to draw in 3D space and move around it, and it'd probably be a good way to show people who've never used video games or virtual reality, like how to use it, give them a good experience with it. There's no pressure, there's no like enemies coming at you, so you can just sit there and like doodle and scribble. Hopefully that'll be a good one. What I'm worried about, comfort. Comfort's probably a big thing. I've heard that the default band is a bit doesn't sit right. It sits too high on the back of your head. I'm worried that maybe it'll be like a little bit claustrophobic or something, like having this thing on me all the time, not knowing who's around. I'm also worried about potential injury, like if I'm leaping and rolling and ducking and things, am I going to pull a hamstring or a groin muscle or something like that? Am I going to have a heart attack maybe from going too hard too soon? Am I going to smack my head into something or smack my arms into something? I've seen games where like people are looking down from above through a hole in the ceiling and there's like an enemy down there. I'm like, what happens if you go to punch him? Are you going to get so wrapped up in the game that you just like, I'm going to punch this guy, and you punch. I got tiled floors on concrete, so if I put my fist into the floor, the floor isn't going to give. It's my arm's going to give. The illness thing is a real worry because I get sick at the drop of a hat. I can't read in a car, or I can't go on boats, or if we go to the show or the fair or whatever, I can't go on anything worse than a Ferris wheel kind of thing. I don't mind the fast-paced things; they're all right. But the things that go like they set me off. Like the pirate ship, the one that goes up and down, backwards and forwards. That just 10 seconds on that, and I'm ready to vomit. I went on some Ferris wheel thing that was like, it was horizontal and it spun around horizontally and then it raised up, and the gondola things you were in were on a pivot, so when you were straight up they'd just go up and over, so you were doing like a backflip the entire time, and that was fine. And then it when after the 3 minutes or whatever it went to slow down, and as soon as it slowed down I'm just like and it took me 2 hours before I could walk between the rides and that. I felt terrible. So if I get sick from this thing, I'll probably sell it. I'll probably sell it for 500. I bought it for 1,000. I'll sell it for 500 because I'll just get rid of it. It's useless to me. Another thing I'm worried about is lame games. Like, who knows what kind of games are going to be released. They might put Fallout 4 out, and it might just might be a piece of shit in 3D. There might be nothing to do. It might be very restrictive. The games that get released from now on, they might just be rehashes of the same thing. I've heard of the zombie rush horde things where you're sitting in one zone and turn around and a zombie comes from this direction and a zombie comes from that direction and a zombie comes from that direction. I hear people are getting sick of them, so that's something that I'm a bit worried about, that once you've played the first 10 or 20 games on it that are good, then that might be the end of it. Who knows? Also expensive games like Fallout 4 was listed as 75 Australian dollars, which is like $60 US or something like that for a 2.5-year-old game. That's ridiculous. Like, I would have thought, seeing as I have the full version, bought it day one with all the expansions and everything, I thought maybe they'd say, give us $20 or $30 or whatever, and it'll just be a DLC for the existing Fallout. But by the sounds of things, they've gone back to the drawing board and redesigned everything. So, I mean, that's a good sign that they think it's worth $70, $75. So hopefully it's going to work. And but some of the other games, they want $60 now. I'm more of a wait until something's on sale for $5 or $10. I bought, how many games did I buy? I bought about 6 games, I think. What did I get? Hover Junkers, Space Pirate Trainer, some golf, Cloud Ruler Temple Golf or something, and Tilt Brush, and that was about $60 or $70. So that's 4 games. I must have got another one. I can't remember the last one. Oh well, not important. So yeah, that's 4 games for $60. Usually I'd spend $60 on one AAA game every 2 years or something, and the rest of them are games that I've missed. So I'll play catch up and get $20 games. But yeah, I mean, I've made $1,000 investment in this thing, so I might as well spend a bit more. What's an extra $50 between friends? Speaking of friends, none of my friends, no one I know owns a virtual reality headset. So unless you can play with people who are on their regular 2D screen, I'm probably going to be either playing by myself or playing multiplayer games with randoms. Depends on how good the games are. If they're awesome games, it really won't matter. Sometimes having a average game with your friends can make the average game seem way more exciting. So I'm a bit disappointed. I don't think this is the kind of thing where if I wait 6 months, my other friends are going to catch up and buy it. I think maybe some of my friends might buy it when it gets down to 300 or something, possibly. Who knows? I mean, it might be one of those things too where you let someone have a go for half an hour and they're like, fuck this, I've got to spend the money no matter what it takes to buy it. That's a bit of a fantasy though. I'm also worried about breaking things. Like the HTC Vive has the chaperone system, which I think it's the controller or the headset, both maybe. When they get to, you define the edges of your play area, and when you get to the edges of your play area, the grid or a camera representation of your area starts to fade into existence in front of you, and you're supposed to go, oh, there's the edge of my play area, I'm not going to keep going, I'll stop here. Whether that happens though, or whether you're like, I got to run out of the way of this thing, and you just smash into something, go straight through. Like if you hit 5k an hour in a sprint, no matter how fast they bring that chaperone system up in front of your eyes, you're not going to stop in time. So who knows, really. I'm also worried about punching people. Like if I have a friend here and I'm showing him how to play it, and I've got it on to be like, all right, so what you do is, you put this on and you turn around and, oh, there's a guy over there, and I go to punch something, like I run out of ammo from shooting it, and I'm like, bang, 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 and he walks in front of me, I'm just going to knock the fucking poor guy out. If you don't realise they're there, you're not going to pull your punches, and you're just going to hit them. You're going to hit them hard enough that you break your hand. So that's a bit of a worry. On a similar vein, damaging walls and the ceilings to mount them. I've got to put 2 of these lighthouse boxes, and I'm probably going to attach them to the ceiling, and probably run some sort of a concealing strip over the top of the power cords down to the power point. So that's 2 spots where I've got to put holes in the ceiling. I've got some stands, but from what I hear, if you put them on stands and someone bumps the stand, your whole world just wobbles and you feel sick instantaneously, and that's the last thing I want. So I am going to have to mount them permanently. So damage them. If I decide to sell it, if I get sick and sell it, I basically got to paint the entire roof of my house, because it's pretty much all one ceiling. There's 2 or 3 rooms off the sides of the main areas, and the rest of it's all open plan. So that's a big expense I'll be incurring, or I'll do it myself, and it's going to take forever. Another issue is I like to stream games. So am I going to be able to stream and capture this the software? Is it going to work easily? Do I need extra cables? Is it going to cause extra GPU stress that's going to make the games run slower or jerkier, that's going to make me sicker? Like, that's something I didn't really think about before I sat down, and 2 days after I bought it, I played another game and streamed it, and I was like, oh man, how am I going to do this with Twitch, like with the HTC Vive? I got no idea. I have to read some tutorials and stuff like that. I've seen that you can grab your remote thing, your wand, your hand capturing device, whatever you call it, and you can put some software on it that when you turn it around and look at the back of it, then you can see chat. So that's pretty nifty for the immersion factor for me. Helps me keep up with who's in the chat, if anyone's in the chat at all. How easily that's going to be implemented, how effectively it works, I am not sure. And also the GPU power. I've got a GTX 970, which is basically the base model. So does that mean that I'm going to have to run all the games in the shitty graphics mode? Not much detail, lower draw distances. Ooh, who knows? You know, this is something that I have to find out for myself. You know, do I have to spend another $600 or $700 or wait for a sale? And with the Bitcoin mining apparently is going through the roof, so everyone's buying up graphics cards big time because the value of the coins are worth more than the value of GPUs. So they're like, well, if I buy a $500 video card, I can get $500 worth of Bitcoins on it in the space of a month. So yeah, that'll be a little bit interesting to see. What were the games I've bought? So far I've bought Hover Junkers. That looks like it'll be a fucking laugh riot. Not too worried about that being fun. Cloudlands VR Minigolf. I watched some videos of people playing that. That looks like it's bloody good fun. Replayability, I'm not sure. It looked like there might have been an editor. I can make my own courses. Piece of piss. Audio Shield, that's one I forgot. That looks like good fun. I've heard though that the beats or whatever aren't. The beats start when the balls leave, because as you you put music files in it, and as they make beats, balls come off the wall and like you gotta block them with shields. But apparently it's not when the ball hits your shield that it matches up with the sound. The sound matches up with when the balls leave the wall, which seems a bit silly. I don't know if it's because it's impossible to tell how far away you are and how long it's going to take. Who knows? Space Pirate Trainer, that everyone I've heard who's got that is like, that's what I keep going back to. So that's why I bought that. And Tilt Brush, like I said, for people who've never used VR or don't play games, it'd be a good immersive way to get in there. Some of the things I want to get are like the blue. Is it the blue? The one with under the water with the whales. That looks like it's pretty good. Google Earth. You know, travel around the world and stomp on things. Some pinball games. Fallout 4. Skyrim. Maybe Doom. I've never played the new Doom, so I don't know. What else? That hot dogs and hand grenades or whatever it is, that looks like a bit of a laugh, just picking up things and shooting them. So yeah, I should get it tomorrow. I've probably got to set it up. I don't think I can capture it. I'll probably do another one of these videos in a week's time, maybe in a month. Who knows? Depends on how much time I get to play with it, how long I spend setting the thing up. It might take me 2 weeks to set the thing up, probably. But yeah, hopefully it'll be good fun and I'll be able to report back and say that it was fucking awesome. Anyway, this is Mixie. Bye-bye.